This time on Fliptv News, the headlines: ECOWAS countries to shut all borders against Mali, reject junta's transition schedule. I told Buhari I am taking over from him. Gunmen enforce Ipob'S sit-at-home order in Enugu, set fire on vehicles. Set vehicles on fire. And finally, foreign meddling behind Kazakhstan arrest, Putin claims. Good evening, I am Shijiola Afolabi. You're welcome to Fliptv News. Now the news in details. ECOWAS countries to shut all borders against Mali. Recall ambassadors reject junta's transition schedule. With his latest stand against unconstitutional seizure of power, leaders of member states in Economic Community of West Africa States, ECOWAS, have shown strong resolve and commitment to issues of good governance and democracy in the sub-region, according to Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. Professor Yemi Osinbajo stated this on Sunday in Accra, Ghana. Presented President Muhammadu Buhari at an extraordinary summit of the ECOWAS Authority of the ECOWAS heads of states and government to discuss the political situation in the Republic of Mali. At the summit on Sunday, ECOWAS agreed to impose additional sanctions on the military junta in Mali, withdraw all ECOWAS ambassadors in the country, and also close land and air borders between the ECOWAS member states and Mali. The Vice President disclosed that there is a strong resolve by the ECOWAS member states to stand against coup d'etats in the sub-region. Speaking to journalists after the summit, Professor Yemi Osinbajo said that is being done is unprecedented in the years gone by the African Union, then known as OAU, and ECOWAS never came down heavily on coup d'etats, but there is evidence now that there is a very strong resolve that ECOWAS and indeed AU and the international community will not accept unconstitutional takeover of the government. Bola Tinubu, former Lagos State governor, and national leader of the All Progressives Congress, says is informed President Muhammadu Buhari of his plan to go for the APC's presidential ticket. Mr. Tinubu made this comments Monday after the meeting with Mr. Buhari at the presidential villa. He told journalists of his ambition to be president of Nigeria, chalking his ability to rule the country of over 200 million people to the achievements made while he was governor of Lagos State. I answered that with categorically yes, I have informed that the president of my intention, but I have not informed Nigerians yet. I am still consulting and I have no problems consulting, and I have noticed that in perimeter of the limitation to the extent of how many people will I consult, Mr. Tinubu said. You will soon hear all you want to hear is the categorical declaration you've gotten, that truth from me that I have informed Mr. President of my ambition. I did not expect more answers than that, the former governor added. These comments came after Mr. Tinubu had earlier disclosed on December that he was keeping his decision to run for president in 2023 close to his chest to avoid distracting Mr. Buhari. Vehicles were reportedly set on fire and the gunmen shot sporadically from the discerning road users in some parts of the state capital. Some unknown gunmen on Monday in Enugu State enforced the weekly sit-at-home order which the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB had cancelled. Vehicles were reportedly set on fire and the gunmen shot sporadically before dispersing road users in some parts of the state capital. the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, had in November 2021 said that it cancelled Monday's sit-at-home order that anyone or group enforcing it must be treated as criminals. They advised people to ignore anybody enforcing non-existent Monday sit-at-home order and go about their normal business, because such persons are working for our enemies, and their intention is to blackmail IPOB and set the movement against the people, but they won't succeed. It was learned that the gunmen who showed up around 9 a.m. drove in an ash-colored Toyota Camry and Toyota Sienna, disrupting vehicular movements at Topland Amechi Road, Mayor Bus Stop in Agbani Road, within the Enugu South local government area. It was learned that many motorists and traders at the Ogbete main market were seriously injured following this stampede, which they said erupted at Old Park around 9 a.m., while several vehicles were damaged as a result of the log jam the incident created. The Russian president says Moscow-led military bloc will take steps to ensure any future interference in region fails. Vladimir Putin has claimed the unrest in Kazakhstan last week that killed at least 164 people was the result of the foreign meddling, and said a Russian-led military bloc should take steps to ensure that future attempts to interfere in the region failed. The events in Kazakhstan are not the first and far from the last attempt to interfere in the internal affairs of the states from the outside, said the Russian president, who was speaking at a video conference of leaders of the Russian-led Collective Security Treaty Organization, a military alliance that deployed over 2,500 troops to Kazakhstan this week at the request of Kazakhstan's President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev. The CSTO, which also includes Belarus, Kyrgyzstan, Armenia and Tajikistan, has never before deployed troops, and many in Kazakhstan expressed extreme unease at having Russian troops on the ground. These measures taken by the CSTO made it clear that we would not let anyone destabilize the situation at our home and implement so-called color revolution scenarios, said Putin. For more news and updates, please stay tuned to Fliptv News. I am Shijola Afolabi. Have a good evening.